Good morning, world. How you doing? It's Iron-M.I.C, MC in control. And today we are going to talk about the developments of the tragedy which had taken place with Mike Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. It's a couple issues to touch on here. Number one, the very first thing that comes to mind is the cycle, the repeat of something so coincidental in a young black male being shot within a year's span, little justice in sight, and a little to very none, no accountability from the law enforcement over their own people, their own figures whatsoever. That's the first thing that comes to mind, you know what I mean? Usually, your protocol would suggest that if you sit there and, you shoot somebody or you fire your weapon off, you get put on desk leave. You got this little organizational body known as Internal Affairs. They investigate and, it's all she wrote. But nowadays, it's kind of like, officer draws weapon, officer shoots people that are defenseless, harmless, so on and so forth. And, not much of any sort of state, local, federal, any sort of branches, bodies of a higher, more superior government getting involved with that, so I do have a problem with that, it's a really big issue there. The second thing that really drew to mind was the amount of protests and riots that are in Ferguson, Missouri. And I'm going to go off on a limb and I'm going to say it's rightfully justified. You know what I mean? That's the collective action of the way the people are responding and reacting and showing their discontent with the injustice that has followed, especially people that predominantly want to see the righteous cause of the law fundamentally take place. That law which is non-existent, so therefore businesses burn, city gets looted, rocks and everything gets thrown at cops. And for what it's worth, for a second I feel like you had this thing known as the militia or something like that show up. Like, I feel like this is as surreal as a movie. Like, I'm almost rooting for these cops, these law officials, this FBI trying to mask the whole thing to go down. Like, seriously, like, you know what I mean? That's something I've been burning on. Another twist in the development is the fact that the mayor had released a statement saying that people who protest, that's going to stand against, is going to be involved in these riots and looting and everything, that they're going to be arrested. You know what I mean? So that's one thing in the matter of social welfare containment, Mr. Mayor of Ferguson, Missouri. I would also like to hear the take, being as it is, you reside over the police commissioner of your fair town, and that you have some public say and statement over these police. It just got thrown out of the window completely as far as what your take on power and what the move should be in the reins of something as objectionable as an unarmed teen getting shot. So you had a couple of media backlashes, to say the least, unnecessary, about releasing photographs about certain isolated rioters, looters, to say the least. What else did we actually have come out to be in this Ferguson, Missouri saga? The release of the no-fly zone, which that's like, man, from many in my activist community, it's just being seen by, the level of the state and the higher, powers of, You know, these police forces is somebody that you guys want to reserve your right to tell us what's going on over there, because too much of a national outpour between the media outlets and the networks might be too big for you to fathom, but it's worth you looking into the situation yourself and actually relaying to the rest of the world what it is. So, yeah, I'm not buying that for a sec. I mean, you know, for whatever reason, what are you gonna do if there does happen to be private commercial aircraft that come through? Do they get shot down? I mean, in this no-fly zone, like, let me know what's going on here, you know. And I wanted to say, you know, I appreciated in the development the sign of solidarity from those in the Palestinian struggle, the people of Gaza, that are letting the American people know how to prevent, how to deal with the actions of tear gas and everything like that. That's like big one up right there, you know, because yeah, you know, like, that's what they have. You know, the people, the peddlers, the peasants, you know what I mean, as they are perceived. They have what they're dealing with in their outrage, going up against the fascist state with the weapons that are actually trying to contain, you know, the situation. You want containment? Give them people what they want. The people speak of the law. They want the law in power. They demand that of the justice that they know the country and the people are capable of. Putting a lid over the situation will only escalate further racial profiling, injustices from Ferguson, Missouri to the worldwide, you know, web, to all the streets, to all the states, all the nations and beyond, you know. So if the people can't speak on behalf of what they want, of their own government, of their own judicial system, please tell me what your judges are worth. Please tell me what those lawyers stand for, these prosecutors and everything else, you know. Well, it's Iron-M.I.C, MC in control. Those are my thoughts on Ferguson, Missouri. 1.